What's up YouTube? This is Biker Kev doing another review. Now today I'm doing a review on my own bike, which is a 2023 Yamaha YZF R7. I'll give you a quick specs of the bike. Start at the engine. So this engine is a 689cc parallel twin, double overhead cam, water cooled with 4 valves per cylinder. It has the 270-degree crank, so it gives a nice sound. It produces 72 brake horsepower at 8,700 RPM and 67 newton meters of torque at 6,500 RPM. It's a 6-speed and it has a assist and slipper clutch. The fuel tank is a 13-litre fuel tank. It holds, you should get about 57 miles per gallon, so I think you should have about 190 miles on a full tank. The seat height of the bike is 835 millimeters, and the wet weight, including all fluids, is 188 kilograms. Let's move down to the front end. So the brakes are two 298 millimeter discs with a 4-piston caliper by Advex. The suspension is a 41 millimeter upside down by KYB with a 130 millimeter travel, which is also fully adjustable, so that's preload, rebound and compression. Let's move down to the back. So the back is a single 245 millimeter caliper with a 2-piston caliper by Nissin. The rear suspension is also by KYB with 130 mm travel with preload and rebound adjustment. I do agree, the Yamaha blue in the colour is really nice. As I'll give you a quick walk round so you can see. When I chose this bike, I had the choice between the Yamaha blue, the black and the 60th anniversary. My favourite colour is blue, so which is the reason I chose the blue. You have a LCD dash, which is clear, tells you everything you need to know, gives you the speed, the revs, your gear position, and most importantly, a fuel gauge. I'll do a quick start up so you can have a quick sound check. One unusual thing about this bike is it has a single LED projection headlight, which I will be honest is very good. At night time it does project the light really far, so you do see the road quite nicely. So there we are guys, that's my own Yamaha R7. I'll take it out for a ride and I'll let you know my thoughts on 1 year of ownership. Let's take it for a ride. Right then YouTube, let's take the old R7 out for a ride and I'll give you my thoughts on 1 year review. Right, swing my leg over. Okay, being 835 millimeter high, just flat foot both sides. Little LCD dash gives you all the information you need. Off we go. Okay, first thing I can say about the R7, the ergonomics, very aggressive. The handlebars are below the top yoke, so it's a very leaned over aggressive riding position. So having this bike for just over a year, I personally don't have no issues with the riding position. Some people may. The posture of the back sort of being bent over could give some people a bit of a bad back, but generally I find it okay. I've not done sort of many long journeys on it. The longest journey I've done, probably hour and a half's riding. Sort of that length of time, my wrists do sort of feel a little bit tender, where there's a lot of weight on your wrists. My back feels okay, because generally my back's not too much of a problem. So yeah, the riding position, not brilliant for long journeys, but for short journeys it's not a problem. Okay. Let's talk about the engine. It's a fine little engine, plenty of torque, low down in the RPM. So I ride this to my place of work and back every day. So a bit of sort of country riding, a bit of town riding. Don't have no issues with the engine of the bike. I say it's got a pretty good low down torque, so around town you can keep it in the low revs nice and easy. One thing I will say about the bike, I don't know where it's coming from or what it is, but I get a load of wind noise from the front end. Whether it's around the front headlight area, because you've got bodywork gaps and the airflow flows through it, whether that's what makes the wind noise. I mean, that's not a big issue. But the bike feels light, 188 kilograms wet weight, so it's a nice light bike, quite nice and easy flick it over. So cornering on it is really good. You can sort of feel really confident in the corners, because the R7 is more aimed at like a track bike, so it gives you a lot of confidence leaning the bike in. And with the fully adjustable suspension on it, you can tweak it to exactly to your needs, to how you feel is right for you. For me personally, because I'm a daily rider on the roads, I've not touched the suspension at all. So the suspension setup from the factory has been fine for me. So, LCD dash on this bike, not as fancy as a TFT like some other competitors have, but I've had no issues with it. I've never had any problems reading what gear I'm in, what speed I'm doing, what revs I'm at, my fuel economy. It's all easily clear and easily to see, even in bright sunlight. I've not had any issue with that at all. Maybe future R7s may get upgraded with a TFT, I don't know, but I will certainly keep an eye out for it. Like I say, I've not had an issue with it. It's all it's a good bike, you know. I've been happy with it for the last year. This review I'm doing now, I'm actually on my way to pick up my new bike. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel to find out what it's going to be, because I will be doing a video on it next. Okay, mirrors on the bike. It's a sports bike, I don't expect the mirrors to be brilliant. At my current setup, I can see 50% of my arms, 50% of the road behind me, but they're clear. I've had no issues seeing anything behind me. But like I say, it's a sports bike. The mirrors are going to be out to the front, narrow in, so you're not going to see great of deal behind you, but it's adequate enough. It's been fine. The seat is a bit hard. One thing I would recommend if you get an R7 is see if you can get a seat upgrade, get a softer padding seat. It's not the softest of seats. Another thing I will say, the stock tyres you get on the R7, the Bridgestone Hypersport S22s, good, very good grippy tyre, but doesn't last very long. My rear tyre, I done about 4,000 miles on it before I had to replace it. But it's a soft compound tyre, so it gives you loads of grip, but it doesn't last very long. But in the wet, I've had no issues in the wet. They give you plenty of confidence in the wet. But yes, if you're going to change the tyres, I'd go for something different, a different make. Maybe go for a Pirelli. Ooh, nice BMW in front. It's a lovely looking bike. When I bought this bike, I did go for the add-on of the optional quick shifter, so it is only a quick shifter up, not down. Quick shifter's good, can be a little bit jerky at low RPM. You need to be sort of at least 5,000–6,000 RPM to get a nice smooth gear change. But like I say, it's not an also blipper, so you still need to use the clutch to change down. But that's not a big deal, is it? Right, okay. Let's see what it's like on the motorway. How it handles higher speeds. Sort of be in the aggressive riding position. Okay, so here I am, 6th gear, doing 60 miles an hour, because unfortunately there's a speed limit on this motorway at the moment. That's not too bad. You get a few vibrations through the handlebars and through the foot pegs, but it's manageable. Every so often all I do is I just sort of loosen my grip a little bit, just to stop the vibration through my hands. But motorway speeds, that's alright actually, because you get a bit of wind coming at you over the screen, sort of hitting you in the helmet. It does keep you up a little bit, so it does take a little bit of the pressure off your wrist, but it's not a lot, to be honest, because it's a sports bike. It's designed for wind protection, to make the wind go over your head. But like I say, I've done a good hour on the motorway before on this bike. I've had no issues with it. Like I say, it does get a bit achy on your wrists, but you get used to it. If you wanted a more comfortable bike, you wouldn't buy an R7. You'd buy the MT-07 if you wanted the more comfortable version. The MT-07 has the same engine, so you get the same little grunt from it. But it's more of an upright position, where this is obviously more focused, more aggressive. So there you go. As you can see, motorway, it's easy, not a problem at all. It's just the position is a bit of a issue with it. Okay, next thing I'll do is I'll do a little bit of town driving and let you know what it's like through town, sort of stopping and starting. Give you my thoughts on that next. Right, okay then. I'll tell you what it's like around town, slow moving traffic, stop starting all the time. Obviously on this bike being assistant slipper clutch, the clutch is nice and light to put in, which you will be doing a lot around town areas. I'm doing just under 30 miles an hour. It's okay at slow speeds, no issues at all. The brakes are nice feeling on the brakes on this bike. The front brake is nice and sharp, but sort of slow moving traffic I tend to use the back brake quite a lot. You don't need the force of the front brake. I'm piling the back brake now, slowing me down, come into a stop, back brake only. I see the clutch is nice and light, so when you've come to stop start, putting the clutch in, not too much pressure on your fingers and your wrists, which is easy. So here we go, pulling away. Nice, easy, slow pull away. I say the new thing about this bike is it's just got a lot of low down torque, so riding around town you don't need to rev it. You can sort of ride it at 2,000–3,000 RPM. But if you need to catch up with the flow of the traffic, it's got the torque down low, so you can easily catch up. Come into a stop again. Not a problem at all. So around town, it's okay. You know, you wouldn't want to do it for a long periods of time, but it's certainly okay. The bike manages it. So my overall thoughts on me owning this R7 for a year. I liked it. I do like it. If you're looking at buying one, you're not going to be disappointed with it. The looks of it's fantastic. The 270-degree crank on it gives it a nice sound rather than a 180-degree crank. It's got plenty of power. plenty of torque. So I've actually enjoyed owning this bike for a year. I really have. It's a good learner bike. This being my first big bike since passing my full test, it's really made my confidence grow. So for a first bike for somebody who's just passed their test, it's a good bike. So my journey on my R7's almost come to an end. I'm almost at my destination to pick up my new bike. So all I want to say is thank you, R7. You've done a very good job. I will be a bit sorry to see you go, but it's time to move on. Time to bigger and better things. I hope the new owner gets as much enjoyment from you as I did. So I'm going to say for one final time on my R7, this is Biker Kev signing off, and ride safe.